Listen, everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to be successful, wants to be better, wants to matter. But here's what separates the men from the boys. It's not luck. It's not genetics. It's not timing. It's obsession. It's the willingness to do what others won't. You see, most people, they talk about improvement. They make plans, set goals, post about it on social media. But they don't understand the fundamental principle. Improvement isn't a destination, it's a weapon. And like any weapon, it requires discipline, sacrifice, and an absolutely ruthless commitment to progress. I'm going to teach you how to become the person everyone else is trying to copy. First things first, you need to understand something that most people never grasp. Thomas Shelby didn't build an empire because he woke up one day feeling motivated. He built it because he understood one fundamental law. The world doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or your circumstances. It only respects power. And power, real power, comes from relentless self-improvement. Your mindset is the foundation of everything. Not your talent, not your background, not your resources, your mindset. When you look in the mirror, you need to see someone who is perpetually at war with yesterday's version of themselves. That's the Thomas Shelby principle. He didn't compete with his enemies, he competed with himself. Every single day was an opportunity to be sharper, smarter, colder, more calculated. Here's what you're going to do differently starting today. You're going to adopt what I call the obsession framework. This means you stop thinking about improvement as something you do. It becomes something you are. You don't go to the gym because it's Tuesday. You go because you refuse to be weaker than you were yesterday. You don't read because self-help is trendy. You read because your mind is a tool that either cuts like a razor or rusts like abandoned metal. There's no middle ground. Most people operate from a position of fear. They improve when they're scared of falling behind, when they're desperate, when they're facing consequences. That's backwards. You need to improve from a position of hunger, from a position that says, I don't just want to be better than everyone else. I expect it of myself. That's the distinction. That's what separates the ordinary from the exceptional. Thomas Shelby understood something critical. Vulnerability is a luxury you cannot afford. Every weakness you have is a weapon in someone else's hand. When you improve, you're not doing it for validation. You're doing it for survival. You're doing it because the world is full of people who are plotting, scheming, and preparing to take what's yours. So you stay ahead. Always. Your mind needs to be trained like a soldier. It needs to understand that there are no days off, no vacations, no breaks from the game. This doesn't mean you destroy yourself. That's what weak people do. That's what people without a strategy do. It means you implement intelligent, consistent, relentless progress. You wake up with a plan. You execute that plan, you measure the results, you adjust, you do it again. The people around you, they're sleeping, they're comfortable. They've made peace with mediocrity. They wake up, go through the motions, and convince themselves it's enough. It's not, and deep down they know it. They see you moving, grinding, improving, and it makes them uncomfortable. That discomfort you see in their eyes, that's your confirmation that you're on the right path. That's you becoming someone they cannot compete with. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for permission. The right moment is now. Motivation is a luxury for people with time to waste. And permission? You don't need anyone's permission to become exceptional. You are your own authority. Move like it. Now let's talk about what actually matters. Because understanding the mindset is nothing without the system. A system is what separates dreamers from achievers. It's what takes your hunger and converts it into tangible results. Thomas Shelby wasn't just mentally hard. He had a system. He knew exactly what he needed to do, when to do it, and how to measure if it was working. You need three things in your system: purpose, progression, and measurement. These aren't suggestions. These are non-negotiables. Start with purpose. Not the vague Instagram-style purpose where you talk about living your best life or following your passion. That's poison. Real purpose is cold and specific. It's not, I want to be healthy. It's, I will have 10% body fat and run a sub 6-minute mile. It's not, I want to be successful. It's, I will generate 6 figures within 18 months. It's not, I want to be smarter. It's I will read 50 books this year and implement one insight from each. See the difference? Specificity is power. Vagueness is death. Second, progression. This is where most people catastrophically fail. They set a goal, they sprint for 3 weeks, they get tired, and they quit. That's not progression. That's delusion. Real progression is mathematical. It's 1% better every single day. It's the compound effect that separates the elite from the ordinary. In your career, this means you're not just doing your job, you're systematically becoming more valuable than everyone around you. You're learning skills they're ignoring. You're understanding systems they don't grasp. You're building relationships they're neglecting. Every single week, you should be measurably more competent than you were 7 days prior. In your physical development, progression is linear. You lift heavier. You run faster. You have more energy. You don't have good workout days and bad days. You have progression and stagnation, one or the other. Pick one. In your mind, progression is about consumption and application. You're not just reading, you're implementing. You're not just listening to podcasts. You're testing ideas. You're not just thinking about improvement. You're doing it. Third is measurement. What gets measured gets managed. If you're not measuring, you're guessing. And guessing is for people without ambition. You need numbers. How many hours did you spend on skill development this week? How much did your income increase? How much did your fitness metrics improve? How many conversations did you have with people smarter than you? What new knowledge did you acquire? Create a dashboard. Actually create one. Put it somewhere visible. Not your phone where you'll forget about it. A physical place where you see it daily. Because your brain works with what it sees. Feed it numbers. Feed it progress. Feed it proof that you're moving. The system looks like this. You wake up with complete clarity about what needs to be done. You execute without debate. You track everything. You adjust based on data, not emotions. You do this every single day without exception. That's what separates people who improve faster than everyone else from people who just talk about it. This is where Thomas Shelby excelled. He didn't just want power. He had a calculated system to accumulate it. Every move was measured. Every decision was strategic. You need the same approach. Here's something that will change your life if you actually listen. Most people fail because they're trying to improve in 10 different directions simultaneously. They want better health, better finances, better relationships, better skills, better mindset, better creativity, better discipline, better everything. At the same time, that's not ambition. That's stupidity dressed up as motivation. The men and women who actually improve faster than everyone else understand one thing: focus is a weapon. And like any weapon, it loses its power when you try to use it in 10 directions at once. You need to pick your battleground. Right now, today, you need to decide, what is the one area where if you improve dramatically, it would create a cascade effect in every other area of your life? For most people, it's one of 3 things: financial competence, physical health, or skill development in their field. Pick one. Now here's where people get this wrong. They think picking one thing means ignoring everything else. No, it means you're obsessed with one thing while maintaining baseline standards in everything else. Your health doesn't collapse. Your relationships don't burn. Your responsibilities don't disappear. But your laser focus goes to one area. Everything else is maintenance mode. Thomas Shelby didn't try to be the best gangster, the best businessman, the best father, the best husband, and the best fighter all at the same time. He focused. His primary obsession was power. Everything else existed in relationship to that primary goal. His business skills served his power. His fighting ability served his power. His relationships were strategic to his power. The point is this: hierarchy matters. You cannot treat everything as equally important because they are not. For the next 90 days, you're going to stop spreading yourself thin. You're going to identify the one area where you're going to achieve something undeniable. And you're going to sacrifice everything else on the altar of that goal. This creates momentum. This creates confidence. This creates real, tangible proof that you're not the same person you were before. And once you've crushed that goal, you move to the next one. You're not juggling 5 balls. You're stacking them one on top of the other. Each victory builds the foundation for the next. The reason most people never improve faster than everyone else is because they're too busy trying to improve faster than everyone else in multiple areas. It's logically impossible. You cannot dominate in 5 different domains simultaneously if you're starting from a position of weakness or mediocrity. You need to become exceptional in one area first. Then you leverage that exception into other areas. This is not about imbalance. It's about strategic dominance. It's about understanding that life doesn't require equal investment. It requires intelligent investment. Some areas deserve more of your resources right now. Accept that. Plan for it. Execute accordingly. Let me destroy a myth that's been holding you back. The myth that talent matters. It doesn't. Stop waiting for talent. Stop waiting you had more of it. Stop using it as an excuse for why you're not where you want to be. Talent is the story people tell themselves when they don't want to face the reality of hard work. Oh, they're just naturally gifted. They were born with it. I'm not that talented. This is how mediocre people think. And if you're repeating these thoughts, you're meditating yourself into mediocrity. Here's what actually matters: consistency and intelligence. The consistency to show up every single day and do the work when nobody's watching. The intelligence to work smart, not just hard. Thomas Shelby wasn't the strongest fighter in Birmingham. He wasn't the smartest person in the room by birthright. But he was consistent and he was strategic. He learned from every interaction. He extracted wisdom from every situation. He adapted. That's what made him dangerous. You need to understand something about improvement that nobody talks about. Talent only determines your starting line. Intelligence and consistency determine where you finish. And most people dramatically underestimate how much ground you can cover with those 2 things alone. Here's what the research shows. Most elite performers in any field started without exceptional natural ability. The difference was they got to work earlier, stayed working longer, and worked smarter than their competition. That's it. That's the secret everyone's looking for. There is no secret. There's only work. Work done with intention. Work done consistently. Work done with constant refinement. You don't need to be a genius. You need to be obsessively focused on a skill that matters. You don't need to be naturally athletic. You need to have a training system that compounds. You don't need to be naturally charismatic. You need to have genuine interest in people and a system for relationship building. This is liberating if you let it be. It means you're not waiting for lightning to strike. You're not hoping to wake up one day with special powers. You already have everything you need. Your intelligence is sufficient. Your capacity to work is sufficient. Your ability to learn is sufficient. The only question is whether you're going to use these tools or waste them. Most people waste them. They come up with reasons why they can't, why the timing's wrong, why they don't have the right connections, why they're not talented enough. These are just more excuses, dressed up in different clothes. Start here. Identify the top 5 people in your field who didn't come from privilege, didn't have special advantages, and didn't possess obvious natural talent. Look at what they did. Copy their system, adapt it to your life, execute it with religious discipline. That's how you improve faster than everyone else. The talent myth dies the moment you accept responsibility for your progress. The moment you stop blaming circumstances and start controlling what you can control. You cannot control the hand you were dealt. You can control how you play it. And the way you play it is with consistency, strategy, and absolute refusal to accept mediocrity. This is where most ambitious people completely miss the plot. They think improvement is a solo sport. It's not. You improve faster when you're around people who are also improving. You improve faster when you have people who will call you on your bullshit. You improve faster when you have access to knowledge that most people don't have access to. But here's the critical distinction. You need strategic relationships, not just random connections. A strategic relationship is with someone who is ahead of you in an area you care about. Someone who can teach you. Someone who will push you. Someone who has already solved the problems you're currently facing. Find these people. Build relationships with them. Not because you need a favor, but because you respect their journey. Thomas Shelby did this constantly. He didn't just make friends. He made allies. He understood that every person he met had value not as a means to an end, but as a source of information and perspective. He picked people's brains. He learned from them. He adjusted based on what he learned. How do you build these relationships? First, bring value. Don't approach someone you admire and ask them for help. Approach them as something that might benefit them. A connection, an insight, an opportunity. Make the relationship valuable before you ask for anything. Second, be worth their time. If you're going to invest in a relationship with someone successful, they need to know you're serious. You're not wasting their hours. You're going to implement what they tell you. You're going to come back with results. You're going to take their advice seriously. Third, learn their lessons so thoroughly that you can teach them to others. This deepens the relationship. This proves you're serious. This makes them want to continue investing in you. The people around you determine your ceiling, not your starting point, but your ceiling. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are comfortable with mediocrity, you will become mediocre. It's not dramatic or sudden. It's osmotic. You absorb their standards. You accept their limitations. You accept their limitations. You start making their compromises. Audit your relationships right now. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Are they improving? Are they pushing you? Are they challenging you? Or are they comfortable with where they are and hoping you stay comfortable too? If it's the latter, you need to restructure. This doesn't mean you burn bridges. It means you intentionally reduce time with people who are holding you back and intentionally increase time with people who are pulling you forward. It's a simple math equation. Your environment shapes you. Change it strategically. Now let's get specific about the daily practices that actually move the needle, because understanding the philosophy is one thing, living it is another. You need morning discipline. This is non-negotiable. Your morning determines your day. Your days determine your life. There's no way around this. The moment your feet hit the ground, you're either winning or losing. You're either executing your plan or defaulting to whatever comes naturally. And what comes naturally is always the path of least resistance. Your morning needs 3 components: physical activation, mental clarity, and intention setting. Physical activation doesn't mean a 2-hour gym session. It means moving your body hard enough that your blood is flowing and your nervous system is awake. 20 minutes of intense work, running, weight training, combat training, it doesn't matter. The point is, you start the day by winning a battle against your own inertia. Mental clarity comes from silence. 10 minutes minimum, where you're not consuming content, not checking your phone, not being bombarded with information. Meditation, prayer, journaling, it doesn't matter. The point is, you're creating space for your own thoughts. You're getting clear on what matters. You're remembering why you're doing this. Intention setting is where you state exactly what you're going to accomplish today, not vaguely. Specifically, today I will complete the quarterly analysis. Today I will have 3 conversations with people who can teach me something. Today I will write 2,000 words of content. These aren't wishes, these are commitments. During the day, you need a system for deep work. Deep work is focused, undistracted time where you're working on something that requires full cognitive capacity. Not emails, not meetings, not social media. Real work. Work that moves you closer to your goals. Schedule this. Protect this time like it's the most valuable thing in your life, because it is. Most people work in a state of constant distraction. They're partially focused on everything and fully focused on nothing. This is the death of progress. You need blocks of time, 90 minutes, minimum, where you're fully immersed in one task. Phone away, notifications off, complete focus. This is where growth happens. In the evening, you need reflection. 30 minutes where you review the day. What went well? What didn't? What did you learn? What will you do differently tomorrow? This is where you close the feedback loop. This is where you adjust your system based on real data. Thomas Shelby didn't have fancy apps or sophisticated systems by today's standards, but what he had was brutal daily honesty. Every night, he was assessing the day. Every morning, he was planning the next move. This cycle, repeated endlessly, created the compound effect that made him formidable. Your daily non-negotiables are this: morning intensity, deep work blocks, evening reflection. That's the foundation. Everything else builds on top of it. Miss these and you're not improving faster than everyone else. You're improving slower because you're not even improving. You're just going through motions. Let me show you the gap that separates the top 1% from everyone else. It's not intelligence. It's not resources. It's not luck. It's this. They understand the concept of systematic unfairness. Most people try to improve through fair competition. They do the same things as everyone else, just slightly better. They wake up when others wake up. They work the same hours. They use the same resources. They're competing in the same arena with the same rules. This is why they never pull ahead. This is why the gap between them and the elite never closes. The people who improve faster than everyone else stop competing fairly. They create systems that give them unfair advantages. These advantages are unfair only because most people don't realize they exist or are unwilling to do what it takes to access them. First advantage, starting earlier. You don't start working when the market opens. You start working before it opens. This gives you preparation that others don't have. You're not reacting. You're acting from a position of preparation. Second advantage, working longer. Not burning out. Working with intelligence, but putting in hours when others are sleeping, hours when others are resting, hours when others are consuming entertainment. Third advantage, learning faster. You read more books than your competition. You take more courses. You have more conversations with people who know more than you. You consume information in a way that compounds knowledge. Fourth advantage, feedback loops. You measure faster. You adjust faster. You adjust faster. You learn faster. Others are still trying to figure out what went wrong while you're already 3 iterations ahead. Fifth advantage, relationships. You know people others don't know. You have access to information others don't have access to. You have support that others are struggling to find. These aren't secret, these are obvious, but they're obvious in a way that everyone can see them but nobody's willing to do them. That's your edge. Everyone else is looking for a secret. You're executing the obvious with relentless discipline. When you combine these 5 things, earlier starts, longer work, faster learning, rapid feedback and strategic relationships, you don't just improve faster than everyone else. You improve in a completely different way. You're not on the same journey anymore. You're light years ahead. Thomas Shelby created systematic advantages, better intelligence than his competitors, better planning, better execution, better adaptation. This is what you need to do. Stop competing fairly. Create unfair advantages that come from your willingness to do what others won't. Here's what nobody tells you. The faster you improve, the more resistance you'll face. This is real. This is documented. This is a law of nature. As you get better, people around you will become uncomfortable. Your elevation creates discomfort in their mediocrity. Your progress becomes a mirror for their stagnation. Some will support you. Most will not. They'll throw doubt. They'll criticize. They'll find reasons why you're doing it wrong. They'll try to pull you back to their level. This is a test. This is where most people quit. They start improving. They face resistance from people they care about, and they compromise. They tone it down. They stop pushing. They return to the level where they were comfortable, and everyone else was comfortable with them. You cannot do this. You need to understand that resistance from others is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're doing something right. It's proof that you're actually changing, that you're actually becoming someone different, that you're actually threatening the status quo. There are people who will leave your life as you improve. Let them. There's no cruelty in this. It's natural selection. You're becoming someone they cannot relate to. You're operating at a different level. You're speaking a different language. The relationship is no longer serving either of you. Accept this. Move forward. There are people who will try to sabotage you. Don't engage. Don't argue. Don't waste energy trying to prove them wrong. Your success will do that for you. Your visible results will answer every criticism they made. Keep moving. The only resistance that matters is the resistance you give yourself. The resistance that comes from your own doubt, your own fear, your own unwillingness to do what it takes. This is the only resistance you need to fight. Everything else is noise. Thomas Shelby understood this. He didn't care what people thought. He cared about results. And because he cared about results, he was willing to make moves that others thought were insane. This is your model. You have everything you need to improve faster than everyone around you. Not talent, not luck, not perfect circumstances. You have choice. You have discipline. You have the ability to do today what others won't do, so that tomorrow you can do what others can't do. The person who will be unrecognizable 5 years from now is already inside you, but they're only going to emerge if you decide to build them. Not someday, today. Pick one area, get to work, execute your system, stay consistent, ignore the noise. In 12 months, you won't recognize yourself. That's the promise. That's the only guarantee.